evening and welcome to Election Night in America 2028 in this historic Democratic primary for president in 2028 to face off against the Republicans. We have had a record-breaking number of candidates enter the race, from governors to senators all the way to surprise celebrities like Jon Stewart and Stephen A. Smith. This has been a primary so far for the books. This is going to be a tight, a contentious, and a long, hard-fought primary. Let's see how this race plays out right now on January 1st, 2028 in the national polling average. It is currently just about a toss-up between everyone in the polling average. Pete Buttigieg has a narrow lead of 4 points in the national polling average, but at just 17%. We have never had a leader in a primary at such a small percentage of the vote. Pete Buttigieg at 17% of the vote in the polling average. Meanwhile, Gavin Newsom, the California governor, is at 13%. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the U.S. Congresswoman from New York City, is at 11%, very close behind. She has surged in recent weeks. Meanwhile, Jon Stewart has slowly been, but steadily been growing his support nationwide. He's at 9%, tied with the Maryland governor, Wes Moore, who briefly held the lead in August of last year. Meanwhile, Jon Ossoff is also at 7%. He's the senator from Georgia. He has remained there for quite some time now. Jasmine Crockett has been surging in these last few days before the first contest. She's also at 7%. She's the congresswoman from Texas. Cory Booker has fallen significantly in recent months, now at 5%. Tied with the Kentucky governor, Andy Beshear, and Pennsylvania governor, Josh Shapiro. Meanwhile, Gretchen Whitmer is also at 5%, the governor of Michigan. J.B. Pritzker not far behind at 4%, the governor of Illinois. The former Congressman Beto O'Rourke, who ran in 2020 for president but didn't make it in the first primary, he is at 3% now. Chris Murphy, the senator from Connecticut, is also at 3%. Raphael Warnock, the senator from Georgia, is at 2%. Meanwhile, Ro Khanna, the U.S. rep from California, is also at 2%. Ruben Gallego, the senator from Arizona, is at 1%. Tied with Stephen A. Smith. Tied with Rahm Emanuel, the former Chicago mayor. And then John Fetterman, rounded, is at 0%, the senator from Pennsylvania. It is now February 5th, and we have the first crucial test of this primary. That being the first in the nation, New Hampshire primary, and we can now make a major projection. In the state of New Hampshire, we have a stunning projection, and that is that Jon Stewart, the host of The Daily Show, the celebrity, one of the few candidates in this race who have never been elected to office, has won. He very reluctantly entered the race late in the game in the summer of 2027. Jon Stewart will win in New Hampshire. He wins. Look at that. He wins the state. Carries just 4 out of the 23 delegates. That is just how divided this race is. Look at this. Jon Stewart wins with 15.1% of the vote. That's it. With all these candidates, he won just 15%. AOC wins second. This is a huge win for the left, essentially. You have Stewart and Ocasio-Cortez, the two farthest left candidates in this race, essentially tied at 4 delegates each. Pete Buttigieg takes third at 12%. Gavin Newsom takes fourth at 12% also. Josh Shapiro wins fifth at 9%. Chris Murphy does far better than in New Hampshire than he is nationwide at 8%. Wes Moore wins 7th at 6.5%, wins 1 delegate. Andy Beshear and Gretchen Whitmer also win 1 delegate each at 6%. Meanwhile, J.B. Pritzker and Cory Booker also win delegates at 4.5% or 1 delegate. And then every other candidate does not win a delegate. Ro Khanna 0.7%, 0 delegates. We do have breaking news. Ro Khanna of California and John Fetterman of Pennsylvania, after both failing to claim a single delegate in New Hampshire, will drop out of the presidential race. This is breaking news coming in here. Khanna and Fetterman are out. That's just 2 out of 20. Not many candidates willing to get out of the race after New Hampshire. It is now February 10th, and we have the second primary of the calendar in the state of Nevada. We can now make a major projection in this crucial early battleground state. And in Nevada, Gavin Newsom will claim his first victory. Gavin Newsom will win in the Nevada caucus. He will win 9 of the 36 delegates. Nevada, of course, a neighboring state to his home of California. He will win 23.4% of the vote, a large win compared to Stewart's win in New Hampshire. Meanwhile, AOC will take second place at 19%, so a relatively comfortable 4-point win here for Newsom. Pete Buttigieg will win third place at 13%. He will win 4 delegates. Meanwhile, Jon Stewart will take fourth after his momentum from New Hampshire. At 8%, he will win 3 delegates. Ruben Gallego from neighboring Arizona will win 6%. Beto O'Rourke will win 6% as well. He'll get 2 delegates there. Jon Ossoff will win 6%. He'll win 2 delegates. Shapiro will win 5.5%. He'll win 2 delegates. Andy Beshear will win a delegate. He wins 3.5%. Gretchen Whitmer, Jasmine Crockett, and J.B. Pritzker all win 1 delegate as well at about 3% each. And this is what our primary, this is what our delegate count looks like right now. Stewart takes New Hampshire. Newsom takes Nevada. Newsom in the lead in terms of delegates. He's at 12. AOC at 11. Stewart in third at 7, tied with Pete Buttigieg. Josh Shapiro is at 4, and the rest are at 2 or less. Many candidates at 2 delegates each. And it is now February 19th, and we have the largest state so far on the primary calendar. That is in crucial Michigan, where we have basically 2 candidates, Whitmer and Buttigieg, from the state. And in Michigan, we can now project that Gretchen Whitmer, the former governor of Michigan, she retired in 2027. Gretchen Whitmer will win her home state. She will win 31 out of the 117 delegates from Michigan. After relatively poor performances in New Hampshire and Nevada, she will storm back. She will win 24.8%, a very comfortable win over the second place candidate Pete Buttigieg at 16%. That's an 8.6% win there. Meanwhile, Jon Stewart will win 10 delegates in Michigan, not too bad of a showing at 9%. He's still very much in it. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Gavin Newsom will win 4th and 5th respectively. They will each win 8% and 10 delegates each. J.B. Pritzker has a strong showing at 8%. He'll win 9 delegates from Michigan. Shapiro will also win 9 delegates at 8%. Beshear will win 5 delegates. Stephen A. Smith will win 4 delegates. In Westmore, Jasmine Crockett and Cory Booker will win 2 delegates each clocking in at 2 to 3%. And then just take a look at the county map in a primary like this, just to get a grasp at how divided this race is. You have Gavin Newsom doing well in the upper class areas, right, above Detroit as well, where the quote-unquote Reagan Democrats originated. And then Detroit itself, in the heartland of America. Detroit, Gavin Newsom has been proven to do very well among African American voters, but has been struggling with so many candidates period in the race, but especially a record-breaking number of African American candidates in the race. But he has broken through in Detroit, won 8% statewide. Pete Buttigieg has won a few scattered rural counties. J.B. Pritzker won some counties near his home state of Illinois, where he has the most influence. You have AOC and Jon Stewart splitting the most rural counties, including the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, where Whitmer does not win a single county, and then you have Whitmer winning everywhere in between. And this is our updated delegate count, where Gretchen Whitmer has actually taken the lead with her Michigan win. She's now at 33 delegates, and Pete Buttigieg has taken second now with a strong showing in Michigan. He's now at 26. Gavin Newsom is at 22 in third. AOC is at 21, and even one of the 3 candidates who has won a state, Jon Stewart, is in 5th at 17 delegates. Josh Shapiro is at 13. J.B. Pritzker very much in it still at 11. Andy Beshear somewhat in it at 7. Then you have the lower tier of candidates, Stephen A. Smith, Cory Booker, Jasmine Crockett, etc. at 4 delegates or less. And we have breaking news coming out in the aftermath of the Michigan primary. Ruben Gallego, Rahm Emanuel, and Chris Murphy all out of the race. Emanuel has not won a single delegate. Gallego and Murphy won about 2 or 3 each. It is now February 28th, and it is now South Carolina primary. This is the last primary before crucial Super Tuesday, which is sure to have a major impact on the presidential race and probably take out a lot of candidates as we saw in 2020. This is huge. In the state of South Carolina, we can now project that Gavin Newsom will prove strong enough among African American voters to carry the all-important state of South Carolina. 55 delegates at stake. Gavin Newsom will win just 8 of them. He will win under 15% of the vote. Look at how divided this race is. Newsom wins 14.5% of the vote, but wins the primary regardless. Now, he will win 8 delegates, and in a shocking second, after horrible performances in New Hampshire, Michigan, and Nevada, Wes Moore, the governor of Maryland, will prove his strategy of focusing on South Carolina will prove to be crucial. He will win 13% of the vote, 7 delegates. Raphael Warnock storms back, wins 11% in South Carolina, 4 delegates as well. Andy Beshear will win 8% of the vote and 4 delegates. Crockett and Booker will also win 4 delegates each at 7% each. AOC and Pete Buttigieg and Josh Shapiro will win 3 delegates each at 5.5%. Stephen A. Smith will win 3%. Stephen A. Smith will win 3 delegates, as well as Stewart and Whitmer at 5% each. Look at this county map. I mean, that is just absolutely insane. You got Beshear winning the northwestern portion of the state, the most white and the most rural part of the state. That goes to show what Andy Beshear's base of support is. You have Newsom winning some, and then you have Moore winning the most heavily African-American counties, as well as Warnock in his home state of Georgia. And after South Carolina, as predicted, we have a flurry of candidates dropping out. You have Stephen A. Smith, you have Beto O'Rourke, you have J.B. Pritzker, you have Jon Ossoff, who is a top-tier candidate, you have Cory Booker, and you have Jasmine Crockett, all ending their respective presidential campaigns. Not too much of a surprise looking at the results. And this is the updated delegate map. Gretchen Whitmer retains a lead, 36. Newsom has 30. Buttigieg has 29. AOC has 24. Jon Stewart has 20. Shapiro has 16. Pritzker, who has dropped out, is at 12. Beshear is at 11. Moore is at 10. Booker, Crockett, Smith, 8, 7, 7. And wow. This is huge. This is just coming in to TPC News. Jon Stewart will drop out of the presidential race. A top-tier candidate who has won one of the 4 primary states, New Hampshire. He started off with the first primary win. He was very much still in the running. Certainly has a better chance than the likes of Wes Moore, Josh Shapiro, etc. Despite that, Jon Stewart is dropping out. He says his heart is not in it for such a long and brutal race. He has endorsed AOC. That is crucial. Jon Stewart, we're still at 8% nationwide. Almost all of that will be going to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And just look at that, you could see how that has helped her in the nationwide polling. This is now March 1st. Gavin Newsom has a lead after South Carolina. He has taken a lead, 22% of the vote for Gavin Newsom, 3% ahead of Buttigieg at 19. AOC now is tied at 19. Wes Moore has surged into fourth place. He's now at 12. Gretchen Whitmer is in fifth at 8. And then you have Andy Beshear at 7, Josh Shapiro at 6, and Raphael Warnock at 6. This field of candidates has severely shrunken down. It is now March 5th. It is the crucial day of Super Tuesday. States all across the country, their polls are closing. Let's see who has the momentum nationwide. And in a really stunning win, a win that nobody could have predicted just a month ago before South Carolina, we can now project that Wes Moore will win his first primary state, his first primary victory. In Alabama, he will win 17 of the 52 delegates. A strong win over Andy Beshear and Newsom in Alabama. He'll win 17 delegates. Beshear will win 12. Newsom will win 10. In American Samoa, they will pledge all 6 of their delegates to Gavin Newsom. In Arkansas, however, Andy Beshear is the winner. This is going to be a long night. Now we have Andy Beshear taking his first primary victory. It already looks like no candidate has a nationwide sweep of momentum. Andy Beshear will win 8 of the 31 delegates in Arkansas, winning 26% of the vote. Newsom will take second at 19, and Westmore will take third at 16. In California, this is huge. They will reject their own state's governor. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has somehow pulled out a victory in California. 424 delegates at stake, 134 will go to AOC. This is absolutely massive. This could be campaign ending for Gavin Newsom. He barely even campaigned in his home state, thinking he had it under his belt. AOC has upsetted Newsom in California by 0.5%, less than 1%. Just look at that margin. Out of 424 delegates, AOC will win by just 2 delegates, 134 to 132. Buttigieg comes in a distant third at 14%, still wins 58 delegates. Josh Shapiro will win 30 delegates at 7%. Wes Moore will win 23 delegates at 5%. And Gretchen Whitmer will win 5%, 22 delegates. In Colorado, AOC will once again come out with the victory. We are seeing some AOC momentum here across the country. Out of their 72 delegates, AOC will win 23. She wins 32% of the vote, a comfortable margin over second place Gavin Newsom at 24%. Buttigieg will win 18%, that's 23 delegates to 17 to 13. In Iowa, however, Pete Buttigieg will score his first primary victory. He will win 9 of the state's 40 delegates. He wins 9 delegates, 22%. Newsom will come in second at 17.6%, winning 7 delegates. Shapiro will win 6 delegates at 15%. What a divided race that was. In Maine, AOC is the winner, one of the most progressive Democratic states in the country. AOC will win in Maine. She will win 7 of the state's 24 delegates. She wins 29% of the vote. Pete Buttigieg will win 20. Gavin Newsom will win 17. She wins 7 delegates. And in Massachusetts, AOC will come out with the victory, with the endorsement of Senator Elizabeth Warren in the past week. Out of the state's 92 delegates, she will win 25. AOC will win 27% of the vote. Gavin Newsom will win 25 and Josh Shapiro 17. That's 25 delegates to 23 to 16. In Minnesota, AOC will also win a very divided race here, very tight win. She will win just 15 out of the state's 75 delegates. Look at that, she wins 20% of the vote with 15 delegates. Gretchen Whitmer will come in second, some Midwestern appeal here. She'll win 18%, not too far behind at 13 delegates. Newsom will win 12 delegates at 16%. In North Carolina, Gavin Newsom will take his first victory of the night, or in a state besides, American Samoa or something. In North Carolina, Gavin Newsom will win he will win 38 out of the state's 116 delegates. Very disappointing win, or night, I should say, for Gavin Newsom so far, but he does take North Carolina. 38 delegates, 33%. Wes Moore will win second, 30 delegates, 26%. Andy Beshear, 20 delegates, 17%. In Oklahoma, AOC will win in this rural state with progressive Democrats, 17 out of 36 delegates. AOC and Buttigieg take 7 delegates each at 20% each. Andy Beshear will win 6 delegates at 17. In Tennessee, Gavin Newsom will take his second victory of the night. He will win 17 of 63 delegates. He wins 27% of the vote. Beshear will win 26. Very strong performance so far tonight by Andy Beshear. Out of nowhere, he hasn't really done well anywhere, but he has been cooking up something here on Super Tuesday, 26%. AOC will win 15% and third place. In Texas, this is massive. Gavin Newsom will win. This might not be such a bad night for Newsom after all, at least not a disaster. He was expected to win in Texas and California, but at least he will take one of them. Newsom will win 62 delegates and 25% of the vote. AOC will win 55 delegates and 22%. Wes Moore will come out as a very strong candidate, 43 delegates and 18% of the vote, not too far behind. In Virginia, Wes Moore will take his second Super Tuesday state. He will win 22 of 99 delegates. He wins 22.2% and wins 22 delegates. Pete Buttigieg will win 18 delegates and 18%. AOC will win 17 delegates and 17% in Virginia there. And after Super Tuesday, this is our updated delegate count. Gavin Newsom takes the lead for the first time. Gavin Newsom at 365 delegates. AOC not too far behind at 312. His lead over AOC was expected to be far greater than it is, and he really wasn't expected to win too much more. Maybe Alabama, maybe Arkansas, maybe Virginia. But the big loss was in California, of course. Pete Buttigieg at 190 delegates, very much in it. Wes Moore at 181 delegates, right in there with it. Andy Beshear at 154 delegates. Josh Shapiro at 136. Gretchen Whitmer at 115. And Warnock taking the end there at 84. Newsom has taken the lead. AOC has taken second place. And just look at this county map so far. This is how each county has voted so far in the Democratic primary. Of course, looking at the South, you have Wes Moore doing best in the most African-American counties. Newsom also clearly has some African-American appeal, but also some white Southern appeal as well. You've got Andy Beshear doing very well among the widest parts of the South. You've got AOC doing well in the West, California and Colorado, but really in the most progressive parts of the country, right? Rural Maine, Colorado, California, Minnesota. You've got Buttigieg with a pretty even showing across the Midwest so far, and then everyone else taking random counties in between. Just look at Texas, though. Look at Texas. Also, importantly, AOC dominating among Hispanic voters. Newsom doing performing moderately, winning a good chunk of them, but it's AOC who's winning the vast majority of them. And we have breaking news, but as expected, Raphael Warnock has ended his campaign after a disappointing Super Tuesday after not winning a single state. He will endorse Wes Moore for president. We also, wow, this is pretty stunning. Gretchen Whitmer, once in second place nationwide before the primary, has dropped out. She is not making any endorsement, but of course very friendly with her neighboring governor, Josh Shapiro. We'll see. Oh, never mind. Shapiro is also suspending his presidential bid. He's also not endorsing. And this is breaking news coming out of the DNC in an effort to make this a quicker primary, to get this primary more unified and over with quick, and so it doesn't damage them in the general election. The DNC has changed emergency rules. They are now saying a winner-take-all threshold is in effect of 50% in every state, meaning if a candidate wins over 50% of the vote in a state, they win every single delegate. They win 100% of delegates. Also, now to receive any delegates, before it was entirely proportional, now you must receive 10% minimum of the vote to receive delegates in each state. And this is our polling average, and wow, just look at that. After a strong showing on Super Tuesday, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has taken the lead in the nationwide polling average at 24%. Gavin Newsom is at 23%. Pete Buttigieg is at 19%. Tied with Wes Moore at 19%. Not too far behind at all is Andy Beshear at 50%. Just look at how little separates the first place candidate with the last place candidate. AOC with Beshear, only 9%. This is a five-way race. This is anyone's game. It is now March 12th, and we have primaries closing in several states. Super Tuesday number 2. In Georgia, and a huge win for the Beshear campaign, we can project that the Kentucky governor will win 30 out of the state's 108 delegates. He will win Georgia. He will win 28% of the vote. Wes Moore will win 26% of the vote, not too far behind. Gavin Newsom will win 23%. Beshear will win 30 delegates, Moore 28, Newsom 25. In the Democrats' broad primary, no surprise here, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez will win. In Hawaii, AOC will come out as the victor, 11 of 22 delegates. In Mississippi, look at that, Wes Moore has cracked 50% of the vote. This new DNC rules changed has already having an impact. Wes Moore cracks 50% of the vote in Mississippi, will win all 35 delegates. In the Northern Mariana Islands, they will pledge all 6 delegates to Newsom. In Washington, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has had a very strong showing, winning 42 of the state's 92 delegates. You could see she wins 46% of the vote. Gavin Newsom will win 36% of the vote, winning 33 delegates. And Buttigieg will win 19% of the vote, winning 17 delegates. And look at this updated map here. Gavin Newsom is at 436 delegates. AOC closing that gap, now at 393. Wes Moore at 245. Pete Buttigieg at 219. Andy Beshear at 185. And then Shapiro at 136. Whitmer 115. Warnock at 84, etc. But all the rest have dropped out. It is now March 19th, and after Super Tuesday 2, we have 4 more states with their polls closing: Arizona, Illinois, Kansas, and Ohio. Illinois and Ohio, watch out for those. Those will prove to be crucial. In the state of Arizona, we can make a projection at this point. The California governor, Gavin Newsom, will win the state and win 29 of the 72 delegates. He will win 38% of the vote. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez will come in second at 30%, so a 7-point win there. Pete Buttigieg will win 18% and 16 delegates. In Illinois, Pete Buttigieg will storm back with his Midwestern appeal, winning in Illinois. He will win 37 out of the 147 delegates in Illinois. This is a huge win for Buttigieg. He only won one state, I believe, on Super Tuesday, that being Iowa. This is a giant win for Pete Buttigieg in Illinois. He wins 25% of the vote and 42 delegates. Gavin Newsom will win 22% of the vote and 35 delegates. AOC will win 21% and 33 delegates. In Kansas, Pete Buttigieg will also win here, winning 11 of the 33 delegates. He will win 30% of the vote and 11 delegates. AOC will come in second at 21%. And Andy Beshear will win 21% as well. A strong performance for Beshear in Kansas, 8 delegates each. And in the state of Ohio, Pete Buttigieg is also going to win here. Another crucial win for Buttigieg in Ohio. He wins the 2 largest states of the night. He will win 28 of the 127 delegates in Ohio. A very good night for Pete Buttigieg, winning 24% of the vote and 31 delegates. Beshear clocks in at a strong second, 21% at 26 delegates. Newsom, 26 delegates, 21% also. He actually gets second place over Gavin Newsom. And this is our updated delegate count. Gavin Newsom retains his lead, 538 delegates. AOC has 488. Buttigieg climbs up to 322. Wes Moore is at 305, and Andy Beshear is at 220. And this is our updated county map. Would you look at that? Obviously, Buttigieg is having a stronger command of these Midwestern areas. Look at Western Ohio, look at Southern Illinois especially, as well as Kansas. Buttigieg performing very well in the Midwest. That could be important after every state has voted. Such a divided race still at this point. It is now March 23rd, and we have poll closings in Missouri, Louisiana, and North Dakota. In the state of Missouri, we can project that Gavin Newsom will win, despite Buttigieg's momentum in the previous round of states. He will win 19 of the state's 64 delegates, winning 30% of the vote. Andy Beshear, once again, with a strong performance in the partially southern state of Missouri, 27% and win 17 delegates. And Wes Moore will win 22% and 14 delegates. In North Dakota, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez will win a strong victory there. In Louisiana, Wes Moore will win a strong victory, 20 of the 48 delegates. He wins 38% of the vote. Gavin Newsom will win 27. Andy Beshear will win 22. Wes Moore will win 20 delegates. Newsom 15, Beshear 13. This is our updated map now. Gavin Newsom at 575 delegates. AOC at 507, closing that gap. Pete Buttigieg is at 325 now. His momentum largely stalled after tonight. Not too much that momentum from Illinois and Ohio and Kansas. Clearly, he might have just gotten lucky. It is not translating over tonight. And Wes Moore actually takes third place at 339 delegates. Andy Beshear continues to climb at 252. And this is our updated polling average for April 1st after the previous primaries. Look at how tight it is. There's clearly a rise of this top tier of candidates, meaning Pete Buttigieg, Gavin Newsom, and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Over the lower tier candidates, Andy Beshear and Wes Moore, Buttigieg and Newsom at 25% each, AOC at 22%, Beshear at 14%, Moore at 13%. It is now April 2nd, and we have polls closing in Connecticut, New York, Rhode Island, and Wisconsin. New York, AOC's home state, will be crucial. In the state of Connecticut, we have a great win for AOC winning. Sorry, that delegate count has to be wrong. AOC wins in the state of Connecticut. She wins 20 of the 49 delegates. 33% of the vote goes to AOC. Gavin Newsom will win 25% and 16 delegates. Pete Buttigieg will win third, 20% and 13 delegates. In Rhode Island, AOC will win, once again, winning 9 of the 21 delegates. She wins 38% of the vote. Newsom and Buttigieg will win 24%, each winning 6 delegates. Each another 15-point win, a strong win for AOC in Rhode Island. She will also pull out a stunning win in Wisconsin. She will win in Wisconsin, winning, sorry, that should be 26, winning, or what, how, let's say 28. She wins about 28 delegates and 28% of the vote. Pete Buttigieg wins 26 delegates and 27%. Gavin Newsom will win 27 delegates and 21% of the vote. A stunning win in Wisconsin. Milwaukee and Madison progressives turned out strong for her, put her over the finish line. And in New York, of course, AOC wins, and it is a dominant win in her home state of New York, putting her over the lead, or putting her in the lead in terms of delegates nationwide. She will win 106 delegates from New York out of 220. She wins 46% of the vote in her home state. Wes Moore will actually clock in at second at 18% and 41 delegates. Pete Buttigieg will win third place with 18% and 40 delegates. Newsom wins fourth place. A horrible performance for Newsom in New York. And this is our updated map now. AOC has taken the lead over Gavin Newsom, 667 delegates. Newsom has 654, Buttigieg has 410, Moore has 380, Beshear stuck at 252. That night was crucial for AOC. She just swept 4 out of the 4 states that voted on April 2nd: New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Wisconsin. Will this momentum continue? It didn't for Pete Buttigieg. Will it for AOC? We have breaking news coming out of the Democratic primary. Andy Beshear is ending his presidential campaign. He is not endorsing any candidate. Andy Beshear is out after a poor performance, not winning a single delegate on April 2nd. And we have more breaking news. Josh Shapiro is getting more active in the race after he dropped out. He is making a Stop AOC tour around the country, but especially in his home state of Pennsylvania's primary. He is endorsing Newsom, Wes Moore, and Pete Buttigieg, a co-endorsement of all. And this Pennsylvania primary is going to be crucial. All candidates are traveling there and campaigning there, the most delegates out of the upcoming states. This is going to be huge, and every candidate has a base of support in Pennsylvania. Of course, AOC comes from neighboring New York, Wes Moore comes from neighboring Maryland, and then of course Newsom and Buttigieg in the fight as well. This is what the polling average looks like going into the Pennsylvania primary. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has taken back the lead after her momentum on April 2nd, after she swept those primaries. She's now at 31% of the vote. Pete Buttigieg polling at 27%, Newsom at 26%, Moore at a distant 13%. It is now April 13th, and we have 3 contests: Alaska, Pennsylvania, and Wyoming. Of course, all eyes on crucial Pennsylvania. This is breaking. This is a huge projection that is sure to shake up this primary. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has carried her momentum straight to Pennsylvania, even with Governor Shapiro's campaign against her. AOC will win in Pennsylvania, winning 42 of the 146 delegates. A small win over second place Wes Moore, the Maryland governor, who wins 40 delegates and 27% of the vote. Pete Buttigieg will win 37 delegates and 25% of the vote. This is a stunning win for AOC in Pennsylvania. And in Alaska, AOC will win a majority of delegates there. In Wyoming, she will win half the delegates, 6 of 12, a huge win for her in Wyoming. And of course, this has expanded her delegate lead to 723. Gavin Newsom at 689. Pete Buttigieg at 451. Wes Moore really closing the gap with Newsom, with all the rest of the candidates. Now he is at 420. This is, AOC has won 7 of the last 7 primaries. She clearly has the momentum on her side as of now. It is now May 15th, and we have polls closing in 4 states plus 1 territory. Let's get these projections. In the state of Indiana, this is absolutely... no one saw this coming. Indiana will go to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. This is Pete Buttigieg's home state. He was mayor here. He didn't even campaign here once because he thought he had it so strong under his belt. All polling indicated this was Pete's race to lose, and Pete has in fact lost this race. AOC will carry her momentum into Indiana, winning 34% of the vote and 26 delegates. Pete Buttigieg will win 33% and 24 delegates. Gavin Newsom will win 22% and 17 delegates. In West Virginia, AOC will win 20 of the 20 delegates, cracking 50% of the vote, not too much of a surprise. In Nebraska, AOC will win 12 of the 25 delegates. She will carry the state. However, in Maryland, Wes Moore will win the state, cracking 50%, winning 81 of the 81 delegates. That's huge. Let's take a look at the updated map. AOC now at 781 delegates. Gavin Newsom falling behind at 710. Wes Moore has taken 3rd place with his Maryland win. He is surging. He's at 502. Very much in it. Pete Buttigieg at 483. It is now May 21st, and we have polls closing in 3 states: Idaho, Kentucky, and Oregon. In the state of Oregon, AOC delivers a huge win, winning 55% of the vote. She will win 56 of the 56 delegates there in Oregon. 51% of the vote. Gavin Newsom will win 33%. Pete Buttigieg will win 11. That's a huge win for AOC there in Oregon. In Idaho, AOC once again wins 50% of the vote. She will win 20 of the 20 delegates. She wins 50.3%. Newsom will win 35. Buttigieg will win 13. In Kentucky, AOC is the winner here, winning 20 of the 45 delegates. She wins 40% of the vote. Gavin Newsom wins 24. Pete Buttigieg wins 20. This is our updated map now. Clearly, the momentum is on AOC's side. She once again she swept those primaries there. She now has 875 delegates, a huge lead now over Gavin Newsom at 721, Wes Moore at 509, Buttigieg stuck at 492. This is clearly becoming a race that is on AOC's side, but of course we're going to have a contested convention, and anything could have happened there. We have major breaking news here. Pete Buttigieg, once the frontrunner just a month ago, polling at the top, is dropping out of the race. He is endorsing Gavin Newsom. And this is his final push to stop AOC from being the nominee. And it is now June 4th, and we have polls closing. These are the last of the last states. This is it. This is it for the primary. These are the last states to vote. This could be crucial. If AOC sweeps these, then the DNC might just make her the nominee. But she will not. In Florida, this is a major win for the Newsom campaign. Gavin Newsom has not won a single state since March. Once the frontrunner, he has not won a single state since March. He wins 105 of the state's 224 delegates. He wins 47% of the vote. If he won over 50%, that would be massive. AOC will win 35% and 78 delegates. Wes Moore will win 41 delegates and 18%. In New Jersey, this is absolutely gigantic. AOC will win 107 delegates of the 107 delegates at stake. She will win over 50% of the vote. In Delaware, AOC will win here, winning 7 of the 17 delegates. A narrow win, but a win at that, 37%. Newsom will win 34. Wes Moore will win 29. In South Dakota, AOC will win over 50%, winning 14 of the 14 delegates. A clear Midwestern rural appeal by AOC. In Montana, AOC once again wins 17 of the 17 delegates. In Utah, she will win 30 of 30 delegates, absolutely racking up those delegates. And in DC, she will win 17 of the 17 delegates. In New Mexico, however, Gavin Newsom will come on top with his Hispanic appeal. 50 out of 29 delegates there. He wins 48% of the vote. AOC will win 44. Wes Moore will win 8. And in Guam, Gavin Newsom will win all 6 delegates. In the Virgin Islands, he will also win all 6 delegates. And in Puerto Rico, we can now project AOC will win an easy victory, winning all 51 delegates. This is my updated map now. AOC will win 1,210 pledged delegates for the DNC after the primary process. Look at that final map. Gavin Newsom will win 858. AOC absolutely surged in these last few weeks, in these last few primaries. She has the momentum on her side. She's only 700 delegates away from winning. Wes Moore at 555. Pete Buttigieg at 492. Andy Beshear at 252. Josh Shapiro at 136. Gretchen Whitmer at 115. Raphael Warnock at 84. Jon Stewart at 20. J.B. Pritzker at 12. Cory Booker at 8. Jasmine Crockett at 7. Stephen A. Smith at 7. And 14 going to the various other dropped-out candidates. This is the final tally before the DNC, but it will be a contested DNC. This will be an epic DNC. But take a look at that map. Wow. That's a lot to take in. And look at this county map. Even more to take in here. Just take a look at that. Absolutely incredible. We haven't seen this many colors on a primary map since at least since 1992, but probably more like 1976, if not later. Wow. And this is breaking news coming from the DNC. They are changing they are updating the rules ahead of the DNC. There will only be a record low 400 superdelegates after a push from more progressive, from the progressive wing of the party. They are reducing the role of superdelegates in the process. They reduce them from 700 to 400, and they can only vote after ballot 3. But this race is absolutely going to ballot 3, so that doesn't mean much. And Kamala Harris is opening the DNC. She chose to not run for president. This is going to be an epic race. This will be a long and brutal race. The first ballot has been held. This is just how pledged delegates go. AOC will win 1,210. Gavin Newsom will win 858. Wes Moore, 555. Buttigieg, 492. This is just how delegates were pledged throughout the primary process. This is exactly what we knew going into the night. And now after the first ballot, now some action is starting, and we're getting word of how each candidate is planning to handle their delegates. Pete Buttigieg, who has 492 delegates, is currently keeping all of them. A lot of candidates will be keeping them in hope that, that they emerge as a compromise candidate. If this goes to 10, 20, God forbid, 30 ballots, then someone will have to emerge as a compromise candidate, and it may be one of these people. Then you want to keep your delegates. You want to have a base of delegates. Beshear will also be keeping his 252 delegates. Shapiro will not be. His 136 delegates he is pledging to Newsom or Moore. He is letting them choose between Newsom or Moore, but it has to be one of those two. Whitmer's keeping them all. She still wants to be the nominee. Warnock, who has 84, is pledging them all to Moore. That's huge. Moore plus 84. Who, of course, Warnock endorsed him. Jon Stewart is pledging them all to AOC, no surprise. Pritzker is freeing them all, meaning they could vote for whoever they want now. They are not pledged to him. They could still vote for him, but they are not pledged to him. Cory Booker is pledging his 8 to Gavin Newsom. Jasmine Crockett is pledging her 7 to Newsom as well. Stephen A. Smith is keeping all of his. Jon Ossoff is freeing all of them. Beto O'Rourke is pledging his 3 to AOC. That's a surprise. Ruben Gallego is freeing all his 3, and Chris Murphy is freeing his 2. And the second ballot has just been conducted. Newsom has gained the most with those switches in terms of delegates, but he remains behind AOC. AOC is now at 1,239. Gavin Newsom is at 976, closing that gap. Wes Moore is at 644. Pete Buttigieg, of course, and then the rest have already dropped out, not gaining any, but keeping their delegates. Nobody has won on the third ballot either. Now, superdelegates are in the race. Very minor changes on that third ballot. AOC 1243, Newsom now at 992. And on the third ballot, this is the fourth ballot, Gavin Newsom has gained the most superdelegates, but AOC has retained her lead. AOC is now at 1,273 delegates. Newsom is at 1,118 delegates. He has crossed 1,000. Wes Moore is at 668. And now AOC supporters are protesting inside the DNC. They are mad over the use of superdelegates that really pushed Newsom towards that first place post. They're saying, just like 2016, just like 2020, this is being rigged for the establishment who wants Newsom. And now the DNC is getting worried. After the fourth ballot, they are worried that this will be a gridlock, that AOC has too strong of a base of support, and she will never lose her base of support, and this will simply go on forever. And not a single change has occurred on the fourth ballot at the DNC. AOC at 1,273, Newsom at 1,118. Absolutely nothing went down here. And we have our first compromise candidate getting back in the race. Of course, this is why keeping your delegates is crucial. We will probably see a lot more of these. Andy Beshear is re-entering the race as a compromise candidate. He has spoken at the DNC. He has made his case that he can unite the left and moderate wings of the Democratic Party. And Whitmer is pledging her delegates to Andy Beshear, just like that. Gretchen Whitmer is once again, ending her campaign. Of course, she never got back in, but she will pledge her 115 delegates to Beshear. That is big. Andy Beshear has surged. Many superdelegates who are not pledged to any candidate are moving to Andy Beshear. He is now at 497 delegates. AOC stuck at 1,273. Newsom at 1,118. And Wes Moore. Wow, this is huge. Wes Moore now is freeing his delegates. Wes Moore is dropping out of the presidential race after he clearly is unable to get any momentum at the DNC. He is freeing his massive amount of 638 delegates, a lot of which are sure to go to Beshear, but also Newsom as well. Let's see how this shakes up. AOC is now at 1,295 delegates, Newsom at 1,321, but it's Beshear who gains the most from Wes Moore's delegates. Beshear is now at 897. Pete Buttigieg is still hanging on to his delegates. His are now at 492. This is it. The ticket is in. Andy Beshear will be nominated for president by the Democratic Party, just like that. Out of nowhere, it took 3 ballots. Andy Beshear will be the nominee, and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez will be the vice presidential nominee. Andy Beshear and AOC have struck a deal. AOC knows, despite being in the lead, that she could not come out as the winner at the DNC. She is therefore pledging her delegates to Beshear in return for the vice presidency spot. This is huge. She has just made the speech at the DNC. AOC will be pledging all of her delegates to Beshear in return for the VP spot. This ticket will be the most progressive in U.S. history. Beshear has claimed the nomination, 2,194 delegates. Gavin Newsom at 1,321. Pete Buttigieg at 492. Stephen A. Smith at 7. Wes Moore at 1. Andy Beshear wins the nomination out of nowhere. He is clearly the compromise candidate that was able to unite the left and right. Andy Beshear, Democratic nominee. Thank you all for watching this video. I really hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't yet already. Drop a comment. Let me hear your thoughts. This was a video in the works for months now. In my opinion, Beshear I'd be fine with. He's on the better side for the Democrats. But support AOC for president, or Jon Stewart if he does run, and never Newsom. Again, thanks all for watching, and I will see you all later.